because of course I had very strong thoughts about who you are.
Really?
Yeah, but I realized that it was based on clips that I would watch of you that had gone viral.
Anna Kasparian on Tucker Carlson. And this is, the setup for this. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but the thing that I love about this is again, it's normalizing this. Like I said before, Jimmy Dore did this years ago, started this process years ago. That's why he's widely, that's why he's so popular. But the authenticity thing of people like Aaron Mate and Max Blumenthal and Matt Taibbi and Jimmy Dore and Do Dissidents and these people who they just call balls and strikes, not on any partisan kind of level, is why they're so popular. Tucker Carlson, I mean, another one who I've come to really enjoy his commentary. But he had Anna on, if you haven't seen this, and I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing, but I just want to take a little bit of a trip down. I want to show you this kind of intro piece and then take a little bit of a trip down memory lane with you about some past events. So here,
conventional interview with like Putin or the president of Iran, people get mad and they ask, why are you talking to him? This is one of those very rare, maybe unique circumstances where people are going to ask you,
yes.
Why are you talking to him?
Yeah.
And people are going to get mad.
People are going to get very angry. I know. And your producers had been reaching out, trying to get me to talk to you for at least a year and a half. And my feelings toward coming on your show went from I would never in a million years to kind of giving myself the opportunity to listen to your podcast, to figure out who you really are. Because of course I had very strong thoughts about who you are.
Really?
Yeah, but I realized that it was based on clips that I would watch of you that had gone viral. And they had gone viral because they were offensive, or you had said something that was
viral, like syphilis is viral.
Pretty much. Okay. I mean, you should think of it that way, because it was mostly painting you in a very negative light.
So I just wanted to show you that, because if you want to watch the whole interview, go ahead and watch it. It's a good interview. I'm not going to promote it. And here's why. As glad as I am that this is happening and these kind of bridges are being built between right-leaning and left-leaning commentators, I don't think the Young Turks deserve a second chance. I think that they were very brutal to Jimmy Dore in a way that was unnecessary. And I feel the same way about Kyle and Crystal.
We're going to push for it at the end of the day, because what are you going to do? Choose Trump? That's right-wing Russia, anti-vax, sexual assault, whatever you need.
Because they disingenuously attacked him when he was right and has been right about so many things. And I think he's the kind of person who, when he's wrong about these things, comes out and admits it, or tries to make better. But again, the people called him a misogynist and shit for the stuff about AOC, of which now everyone pretty much widely agrees. We're going to get into this a little bit more with Crystal and Kyle in a few minutes when I talk about Crystal's Alyssa Slotkin interview. But someone said it on Twitter, and I wish I had snipped the tweet, but it's kind of like, yeah, we didn't forget who you guys are. Just because now you're kind of waking up because you've lost a bunch of your audience and you've realized the error of your ways being Democratic mouthpieces, which Crystal and Kyle really still are. The Crystal thing, it makes me wonder, when the marching orders went out, that it's okay to talk about certain things among the Democrats. But just to remind you too, I dug up this clip of Jimmy on Alex Stein's show, actually kind of talking about what the Young Turks did to him and what separates him from
Turks. They're kind of imploding right now. How did you become such a lightning in a bottle? How did you catch that lightning in the bottle when you left and you went all on your own, Jimmy? Because you're on fire right now.
Well, it's a real.
So full disclosure too, I think this interview is from a year maybe 2 years ago, like somewhere in that realm.
Weird trick. I decided to tell the truth and speak from my heart, and people kind of connect with that. Whereas the Young Turks took $20 million from Jeffrey Katzenberg, who now is a big owner of the Young Turks. Although they'll lie to you and tell you that that was a loan that they paid off. That's not what that was. Jeffrey Katzenberg, now they have a corporate board, and they now have several people from several different private equity firms that sit on their corporate board. So this idea, so Jake just made up a lie one day when he was on Rising and said, oh, we paid that back. That wasn't a loan. That was them buying into your company.
So, okay. And again, this thing with Anna going on to Tucker, none of the stuff Jimmy's talking about here has changed at all. Right. So it's clear that like these people, they know, and their investors know that the market for political talk has shifted greatly. So again, knowing their history, me knowing Anna and Chanks, and Anna's blocked me on Twitter. Knowing their history, I wear it as a badge of honor. Knowing their history as being disingenuous people, I also see this move to like, oh, let's be accepting of Tucker Carlson, and Chanks like, oh yeah, like we can be accepting of right-wing views now, is disingenuous. Whereas with someone like Jimmy, from day one, Jimmy's goal has just been to like get policy implemented. And he was smeared harder by the left for doing, moves from the DSA handbook to get Congress people to fucking withhold their vote from Pelosi to get a vote on healthcare during a pandemic. And he was turned into like this misogynist demon. I think his Wikipedia still says he's like working for Russia, obviously the very popular smear that was recently completely obliterated by evidence. Anyway, let Jimmy finish here before we move on.
Anyway, so that's how I did it. What they did was they started to say things that would appeal to another donor. Just like a politician, Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian started to think of what would appeal to another donor, which is why they smeared Julian Assange, which is why they smeared the anti-war journalists at the Gray Zone, which is why they did a fake hashtag Me Too against me, which nobody believed because they told totally different stories. And if anybody was sexually harassed there, it was me, because Anna Kasparian couldn't stop flashing her junk in the studio. But so that was my. That was my secret to success, is to go on YouTube and just speak from the heart. And turns out people connected with me.
No, and you're on fire.
That's why Tucker and Candace are so popular now.
And, seeing Anna Kasparian naked, I don't know. That doesn't sound like that bad of a gig. Real quick, and I don't want to talk about the young.
Yes, Anna Kasparian is an attractive woman. Like seeing her bend over and catching a glimpse of her thong would not be a terrible thing to schoolboys like myself.
Turks all the time, but I want to play this clip because the reason why I asked is, do you think they're imploding? I do see a division between Anna and Cenk, and I think that Hassan, Cenk's cousin, is causing a lot of this. We put together a little montage of Anna's kind of most recent flare-up. So let's play this, and I want to get your instant reaction.
The majority of the left wing is perfectly reasonable on this.
Are they?
You give those tiny little leftist streamers way too much
They're
credit.
not tiny little leftist streamers. Cenk Hassan called the city council member racist for
I don't
helping this
care.
woman.
Did you know Jimmy Kimmel featured one of Hassan's tweets on last night's show?
I know, everyone loves Hassan. He's super famous and rich. We got it. Like, why the fuck didn't I just play video games? Why the fuck didn't I just play video games? Maybe I'd be a fucking millionaire if I did that. God damn it.
Anna Kasparian. Anna says, I did make that comment about Hassan because he's a POS who throws family under the bus to appease the rabid mob in his audience.
Wait, what? I don't make things up, but my point is that this stuff turns people off. It's not really controversial. The bonus hole.
The transgender community is important. However, when you move out of or move far away from making sure that they are not denied housing, making sure that they're not denied healthcare, when you move into like these more fringe areas, an LGBTQ group in the UK who suggested that instead of referring to vaginas as vaginas because it might be offensive to transgender men,
yeah, this kind of stuff I hate so much.
That kind of stuff too. I've talked about this so many times, but that is troll. That's trolling. Those people are not legitimate. Those kind of people are assets that embed themselves in those movements to make those movements look ridiculous. And I used to think I was like just kind of overthinking it and paranoid for believing that. Now I know for a fact that I'm right. because some of this stuff, like the people who throw paint and like the people who like glue themselves into museums or painting, or like slash paintings at like classic art, like in the name of like oil, you know, getting off fossil fuels or whatever. Those are people that are paid by the oil industry to make protesters look stupid, for 1,000%. I would even go so far as to say a lot of the people who block traffic are part of that ilk. But, you know, this kind of thing, like bonus hole and all that shit, like trans people, LGBTQ people, you need to fucking squeeze those people the fuck out of your movements because they make you look bad. And I've never met anyone who's gay or trans or bisexual or whatever you want to say that's like that ridiculous about it. In fact, I'm going to tell this quick side story really quickly. I used to work for a gay man in Hollywood, and I remember, I've probably told this story before. I'm like an old man now, but we drove by this billboard one time. We were going to like a business meeting, like a pitch meeting or something. And there's these two oiled up dudes. It was in West Hollywood. And there's like these two oiled up gay guys like, hey, big boy. And he looks at me and he goes, what do you think about that? Because he knew I was like, you know, at the time I had 2 babies. You know, I'm like a straight family guy, you know, with a wife and kids at home. And I was like, it doesn't bother me. It's West Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's like, he's like, I don't like it. He's like, I don't like pushing that on people. He's like, my lifestyle is my lifestyle, and I want people to accept me for who I am, but I don't think we need to like put it in people's faces like that. So those are the gay people that I came up around. You know what I mean? They weren't like these like bonus hole. I'm offended that you don't call me a real woman or whatever. Like that's not the tone or character of any of the gay people that I know. So anyway.
Again, it's always like marginal shit. Like who cares?
What's happening? It sounds like there's, trouble brewing.
Sounds like it. Yeah, it's I think it's fantastic. I love to listen to. That's Cenk's nephew, by the way, Hassan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, very familiar. I'm just saying, is she that jealous? Anna sounds so jealous.
By the way, when people are like the left needs a Joe Rogan, they're like that guy already is the left. By the way, Joe Rogan is the left's Joe Rogan. That's the thing that these smug fucking assholes don't get, is that they're not the fucking arbiters of what the left is anymore. You know, I think they're so fucking like self-flagellating and so fucking like, oh God, it's so disgusting. Anyway, good on Anna Kasparian. To sum that up, good on Anna Kasparian for, you know, finally crossing the line to go on the evil Tucker's show. But also, like, I see it as a disingenuous move, like a lot of the stuff that the Young Turks do. So